Hey, it's Michelle Pippin, and I'm excited that you stopped by to watch my video about creating a Rockin 2013. In a minute, we're going to talk about the Women Who Wow formula for a great year, a great launch, or just a great business. But before we dig into that, I want to talk a little bit about where things really go wrong in business today, because I know that a lot of people feel like they are doing everything they know to do, and they're ending up feeling like really busy, really bummed, sometimes broke, really defeated. They're working too hard and making too little, and many people that I talk to are confused about what it takes to really be successful, what they can do differently, what they can do more of, what they can do less of in order to create the business results that they want. And I want to cover that for you guys today while we're at the very beginning of the year. If you couldn't make it to my live Rockin 2013 planning party, no worries. I've tried to capture the highlights in this video for you. And we're going to start with my own formula for creating a rocking new year. So here you're looking at our Women Who Wow formula for a Rockin 2013. We're going to start the way most people start, by having some specific goals. We want the goals to be measurable. We want the goals to be something that challenges us to bring our best self to the year. We add to that a strategic plan. That's the how-to part of reaching your goals in 2013. How exactly are you going to accomplish what you want to accomplish in the new year or with your new launch? Then we add what we call our B&B secret of Women Who Wow, and that is blinders and brakes. This is one of the most important things that people miss when they are setting goals for themselves and for their business. Blinders are what we're going to tune out, and brakes are what we're going to put the brakes on, what we're going to stop doing. This is super important if you're really up to something big in the new year. And finally, we're going to subtract one of the most destructive forces in business, and that is ego. So that's our formula for a Rockin 2013. Specific goals plus strategic plan plus blinders and brakes minus ego. Now let's dig in a little bit further. Let's talk about the goals. We want to talk about goals. Make sure that they're measurable. If we can't measure it, we can't really know how quickly we're reaching them, if we're reaching them at all. We don't know whether or not we've arrived at the destination that we set in front of us. So let's really make our goals measurable. Numbers are measurable. We also want to talk about how things are done in your business. So for me, I don't want to just break the $1 million mark, or, break 700,000, whatever it is. I don't want to just do that, because I've done business well, and I've done business not so well. And when I've done business not so well, I've felt very hurried. I've lived outside of my priorities, and regardless of the income, I refuse to go back to that. And so when you're setting your goals, pay attention to how you want to reach those goals, how you want it to feel for you. Number of hours is also something that you can track. And so maybe it's a certain amount of income, a certain number of clients, and also a certain number of hours that you're willing to work, or a certain number of times you're willing to travel per year or per month. So set those specific goals. Then, just like in the equation that I showed you a minute ago, we want to move on and create a strategic plan that will help us reach those goals. How do you create a strategic plan? The equation for this is pretty simple for me. Vision plus evaluation equals a strategic plan. So the vision is really just another way of talking about those specific goals that you have. Evaluation is really starting to figure out your place in your industry, in your niche, in your marketplace. When you're thinking about the evaluation piece of creating a strategic plan, look at your competitors. What are they doing? What do you do better than them? What do you do different than them? Consider not just what you sell, but how you deliver it. Consider what do you do differently, and how do you do it differently than your competitors. And don't rule out these competitors that most people really ignore. I know that in my industry, one of my top competitors is someone considering not doing anything at all, just considering not hiring a coach or consultant, not hiring a copywriter, just sort of doing things on their own, that DIY approach. Another competitor of mine is timing. I can't tell you the number of would-be ideal clients who think that it's just not the right time. They don't realize that there is no right time, but it's still a great competitor of mine. So don't rule out the competitors that you've really never considered before. And figure out what you do better than anybody else that you might be competing against. This creates a great strategic plan because it answers the questions. Who will you be to the people that you serve? What will you provide? What will you deliver? How will that be done? Will you be the Walmart or the Neiman Marcus of your industry? Because the evaluation piece of a strategic plan also covers price point. It also answers the question, where is your sweet spot? So vision is your specific goals plus evaluation. What does the marketplace look like? What are the competitors doing? Where do you fit? Where do you stand out? By the way, a sweet spot in your business is something you create deliberately. It's not something you find or stumble upon. So be willing to really look at this with a fresh pair of eyes. Maybe get someone to walk you through it. Who are your competitors? Where does your price point say that you are? Who do you serve best? What do they love most about you? Do that evaluation piece, because that plus your specific goals will start to unveil your strategic plan. The next thing we want to move on to is my own take on what really matters when you are building and growing a business, and that is the B&B spot. That is the blinders and brakes. Why blinders and brakes? One, we have too many influences today. We've got so many videos, so many gurus, so many blogs we're reading. Everyone has an opinion. And sometimes we just need to be able to focus. We need to put these blinders on, the way you put blinders on a horse to keep them focused on the goal. We need the same thing. So let's put our blinders on. What do we need to tune out? Who do we need to tune out? Right? And then brakes. We need to give ourselves permission to stop doing things that aren't working, or stop doing things that aren't serving us. Stop doing things that aren't giving us the result that we thought that they would give. So it's very important to have your blinders on so that you maintain your focus, and it's very important to apply brakes. Really look at how you spent your time, how you spent your resources in 2012. What do you want to give yourself permission to put the brakes on for 2013? Finally, we've got to subtract ego from this thing called business. It is the #1 destroyer of business. We want to make our businesses all about us. And when people say yes to us, then we feel great. When people say no, then we feel rejected and defeated. And our ego is there to keep us safe. In business, we need to be willing to be unsafe. We need to be willing to create some change, to get out of our box, to get out of our comfort zone. And our ego can be a major hindrance to that. And one thing that I've seen really in the past 4 years, more so than ever before, is where ego is allowing business owners to make poor decisions because they're more interested in how things look than how things actually are. And so whenever you are going through the motions of your business and you start to question, as I hope that you do, why am I doing this? If it is to protect an appearance versus pursue a goal or pursue achievement, then that's a red flag that you need to get the ego out of there so that you can really create the achievement and the accomplishment that you're after. Ego is an ugly thing, and we all struggle with it. But when it shows up in our business, it can be really, really destructive, and it can delay our progress, as its goal, again, is to just keep us safe and to protect the status quo. So I hope this helps you guys stay on track for your goals in 2013. The picture of a great business for us is one that is profitable, one that is operated in integrity, one that is aligned with our core purpose, one that is simple, right? I don't like complexity and hurriedness and rushed activities and rushed schedules. A wow factor business is one that's also lean. It's grounded in measurement. We measure frequently. And finally, it's one that is held accountable. We not only hold our businesses accountable, we hold ourselves accountable, and we learn to hold our actions and our activities accountable, because that is really one of the major keys to creating the 2013 that you set out to create. So who's going to hold you accountable? If I can do it, let me know. If I can help you in any way, let me know. And I will see you around in this new year. Thanks.